Welcome to Discourse. Today we're going to be discussing Cuban Sliders by Alexander Bentley. When a Soviet scientist is found grotesquely aged outside a rum distillery on Cuba's north coast, former Bureau operative Max Calder is pulled back into a world he's been trying to escape. The mirror, an experimental technology capable of fracturing time itself, has resurfaced, more powerful and more dangerous than ever. This time, no longer a single machine, but a growing web, one that entangles minds as easily as moments. Caught between Soviet pursuit, CIA ambition, and betrayal from within British intelligence, Calder must decide whether the mirror can be contained or destroyed at every point in its past. So this is book 3 of the Max Calder spy-fi mystery of the Bureau's Archives Trilogy. So book 1 was Furniture Sliders, book 2 was Angus Sliders, and all 3 books are connected. So this is the 3rd book. This is Cuban Sliders. Yeah, they're all interconnected, and they all have the same main characters, which is Max Calder and Alicia Rayes.
Yep.
Yes.
And then we got Kim Philby, who plays a big part in everything, and you could kind of sense he has his fingers entangled in everything, right? Like the good side, the bad side, but they just can't prove it. And then James Angleton.
Yeah, so we're let off with a
dead Russian
scientist, and which I really liked because I felt like we were thrown into the story, even though I know this is book 3 of the series, but we were just thrown in right away to, oh my God, who is this? What's going on? And why did he age so much? Like, obviously we were like, okay, time travel, right? But then there was so much left unsaid. He just died right away. And you're like, wait, okay.
Yeah, it was like a weird, because this takes place in the 50s, 1951, Havana, Cuba. And it's like an old film with like the brown, grainy scenery.
Yeah, the noir.
There's this old scientist going out into like the water, and he's kind of like, man, how did I get to this point? And he's dying, and he looks like 90-something. But this dude was actually just around 42. So we're thinking time travel. He's a scientist, a Russian scientist. And this is a spy-fi. So, like, what technology did he mess with? Did he go back in time? Did he go into the future? So dead Russian scientists, they try to take pictures of them, and we got bulbs and electronics failing. And it's more like, what the heck is going on?
Right.
And time just seems... It was weird.
Lots of interference and a lot of weird, repetitive, situational things going on.
Like deja vu.
Right.
And out of nowhere, these CIA agents show up and they tell the cops, move along, we got this. And they're like, oh, all right. So these guys, CIA, they're connected to Mr. James Angleton, who plays a big part in this story. And he's like, oh no, Russian scientist, crazy aging. The mirror is back.
Right, yeah, this sounds like things that have happened in the past.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of the Roslyn Dockyard incident, Inversheel incident. So it's all interconnected. So check out book 1 and books 2.
Right.
So he calls Mr. Kim Philby, MI6, British intelligence, and kind of lets him know, like, hey, we caught this dead Russian out in Cuba, and just everything going on, it feels like the mirror's back. Just all these incidents and occurrences, like, it's not normal.
Right.
It's all interconnected, like, from what's happened in the past. They keep referencing the past and these incidents. And Kim Philby, for a guy who seemed to be connected since the beginning, he tries to brush it off.
Yeah. He's like, don't look further into it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're overreacting. A dead Russian. He probably drank too much rum. Like, leave it. Whatever.
Yeah, just let it be.
Yeah, and Kim Philby actually happened to be the one who tutored Mr. Angleton, kind of trained him to be an agent back in the day. So they got a relationship, but Angleton's like, yeah, I don't trust this guy. So he reaches out to the Bureau.
So, Elspeth Moreau, she's the director of the Bureau, and she's the one who was contacted by Angleton to say, like, hey, I don't trust Philby. We need to get some people investigating this further. So Elspeth contacts Max Calder and Alicia Rayes, and basically brings them back in, even though they were supposed to be off the books. They're supposed to be retired. They're not doing any of these things anymore. Mm-hmm. She brings them back in, she hooks them in and says, listen, you guys, your job is not done. There's another mirror. We need to get this mirror out of here. Like, now we're not going to retrieve it. We're going to just destroy it and be done with it.
From the roots.
Right. Yeah, from the roots. I kind of like that. I thought that was a cool idea.
They keep mentioning the mirror as if it's fully functional or recreated again, but it's not. They just have these, like, intuitions just from their history. And Alicia and Max, they have, like, mad PTSD because every time they bring it up, it's, especially poor Max.
Yeah, because he came into contact with it more. It kind of messed with his mind more.
But apparently the mirror, it messes with time, but it also messes with, like, time and space. Anyone that's come in contact with it or just been around it, because it releases, like, these pulses, it gets into you. And there's even a reference later of, like, something watching Max.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, and he saw a figure when he focused, kind of reminded me of like a shadow, but it's an alien, and you could tell it's intelligent, and it's just watching you and, like, reading your thoughts.
Right. So now Moreau's basically hooking them back into the job, and they're kind of like, ugh, I really don't want to, but if we don't, this is going to continue to get worse, and then we're all going to be affected, and then it's going to be our fault, basically, you know? So they end up being booked on the next flight, and so we're taken to Havana. They're doing their spy stuff. We kind of get to see a little bit of behind the scenes of what it takes to blend in and just to be kind of hidden within the crowd. It's pretty cool because, I mean, obviously we're not spies. I don't think I'd be good at it. I'd be really bad, but I'd be spilling the secrets everywhere. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see, like, what it takes to just not be noticed.
While at the same time noticing everything.
Yeah, noticing everything. Like, they really point out things that they see and people wearing certain things or doing certain things and walking a certain way or what have you. It was just really interesting. Or different dialects or, not dialects, accents. And I don't know, it just, like, it allowed them to read into people. Like, they're, like, major people watching.
The way that guy's sitting, he's a detective. He's packing.
Yeah.
That's just a family going on vacation. Yeah. And, like, the way it's written, it'll be great for a TV show or a movie.
Right.
Just because it talks to the people in the background, the colors of things, the sound, the smells.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Yeah, the author was really great at describing environmental, like, smells and sounds and things like that. London Airport in 1951 wore the weather like a bad conscience. The fog rolled in low and stubborn from the village of Heathrow, pressing itself against the glass as if it wanted answers. It dulled the sodium lights into weak halos and turned men into silhouettes. Hats first, faces second, intentions never. The place smelled of aviation fuel and boiled tea that had been standing out too long. Everything echoed, footsteps on polished concrete, the cough of engines warming their throats, the clipped bark of porters who'd learned not to ask questions. So I really liked all those details of the atmosphere because I felt like I could really imagine myself in that moment. It was just really cool. I could see it. I could see it visually.
It's like a dark night in London. It's raining. It's foggy. Nothing has to be said. And just like with that, right, you can smell it, hear it. And
yeah. Or when they got into the car with that driver and it just smelled so bad. I was like, oh, that sucks. It
smelled like sweat, blood, and vomit all in once. And poor Max, this guy always has a headache. Always seeing stuff and like deja vu. Yeah. Like, I swear I just saw that woman. Like, I don't know, Alicia, I feel like they make a good... They
complement each other.
Yeah, they complement each other. Where Alicia is more, she's direct, she's honest, she accepts that she's been compromised, by the mirror, but she's just always on it and very detail oriented. Mm-hmm. Where Max is like, God dang, I just need my cigarette. I'd rather drink my whiskey and read a book. And he has anger issues. He just wants to get there, get out, and be done with it.
I'm like, who doesn't?
Yeah.
No, I loved the whole cigar situation. How he was like, oh, I'm all out of my Cuban cigars. He's like, but now I guess since I'll be there, I'll pick up some. I love that. That was
That's
great.
That's why he agreed to take on the mission.
Yeah. It's just Cuban cigars. They must be very great. I don't know. That good? To get wrapped up back into something that could possibly kill you.
Yeah, especially that guy reading into his thoughts.
Yeah.
Right, and there's a lot of descriptions about the mirror.
So the new version of the mirror where they come to find out, because they're making plans. Once they get to Havana, they're making plans to infiltrate the distillery. But it was more just for like reconnaissance, right? Just to kind of see what's going on, see the guard's schedule, figure out a way in and figure out a way out, right?
But mainly to see if the mirror is truly there.
And then being the spies that they are, they realize that there's a portion of this gated fence or metal fence that was clipped but then reattached. And they're kind of like, that's strange. Someone was here before us situation. And they're like, that's weird. But they're making plans, right? So they're kind of like, I think they keep that knowledge in the back of their mind, just being good spies, I guess. And so they go back. They have a few repetitive situations happening, like people on the street, where they see people that were there or doing something over and over. Max tries to ignore it, but he's constantly, like you said earlier, he's constantly always feeling the mirror. So he knows it's there, and then he almost touched it when they went into the distillery. He almost went into the room where it is or whatever. And she's like, dude, you're not supposed to be going near. We're just supposed to go in and have a look-see and get out. But then once they get back to their place that they're staying at.
Safe house.
Their safe house. That's what it's called. See, I'm not a good spy. I don't know. Then an old character is reintroduced. Someone that we thought was gone, dead. Which I think in their line of work is a very common thing. Because it was a surprise, but it also wasn't. So... and that was the person who was seeing themselves in and out of that fence. And Max is kind of like, I should have known.
Yeah, and Alicia was like, you know this lady?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And now you got two women spies kind of...
Bashing, yeah.
Not trying to shoot each other, but they're like, give me a reason.
Yeah, that was the little standoff there. And then they kind of group together, and they create another plan. And I like how there's always just there's a plan, and then when things go wrong, there's more plans. But if... there's just always some sort of plan. And I'm like, how do they keep all this stuff straight, first of all?
And it's not just them.
Right. It's so many other moving parts that's happening.
Ingleton from the CIA, he has everything everywhere. His people, he's got drivers. Mm-hmm. For all the people involved, is very fluid, right? The way we're, this option doesn't work out. You kill a Russian, now we got to do this.
Right. So then they team up, and then they decide... because there's a ship coming in.
Oh, yeah, a Russian ship.
Right. And they know that there are either the mirror is on there or parts that are important for the mirror are on this ship. So they go to basically blow up the ship, right? Because that's their intent, is to get rid of everything.
Max and Alicia's mission, yes.
Yeah, their objective is that.
But the other person, the one that showed up from the dead, she was assigned to...
a different type of objective. Yeah.
Yeah, then we were introduced to so many spies with different missions. FBI, CIA, MI6, you do this, you do that. If they can't do this, you cover that. It's so many moving parts.
And so they're able to destroy some of the parts to the mirror, but they come to find out that the majority of what was important was already offloaded. So not that their mission was completely failed, but the mirror's still moving on with its life, right? So, and then we're taken to the mirror now, and they get to see it in person fully, and it's not the mirror that they quite remembered from previous. So it's a new upgraded version, a more, how they explained it was stronger, smaller, and more sentient, which is scary. Yeah. And that was what we were referring to earlier, being, have eyes on you. There weren't many cables. That was the second thing I noticed was wrong. Every mirror version I had seen before had needed immense power simply to stay online, let alone pulse. The pulses took the most power. It was enough to drain the grid of a small town, and yet weirdly, this thing looked as if it fed itself. And then also it has a wider range, they come to find out, because when things don't really pan out very well in Havana, now they're moving on to the next place where it's all connected.
Jamaica.
Right. And so on the way there, though, they feel there's so much more changes happening around them. things that they recognize and that maybe other people don't, but because they've been involved with it for so much longer, like they totally notice everything, the things that are off, and they're starting to realize the broad scope of the mirror now and how far reaching it is and how much more powerful it is, which is pretty scary. So definitely a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of things, moving parts, a lot of things going on. And if you like espionage and this type of, I would call it, I know it's spy-fi, but it's the science fiction, spy, mystery of it. If you like that kind of thing, this is definitely the series that you should get into. So definitely check out Cuban Sliders by Alexander Bentley.